Hello and welcome back to Kingdom Reviews. I'm your host, the Future Keybearer, and today we celebrate all kinds of spooks and specters as we take a look at Halloween Town. So as the level begins, we take a look at some new costumes for Sora, Donald, and Goofy. Sora is some sort of vampire. Knock it off! Twilight fangirls. Wait, those are still around? Goofy seems to be some sort of Frankenstein monster, I guess. It's actually pretty cool. But the standout, once again, has to be Donald. He's a mummy, which alone is pretty interesting. But here's the really big kicker. His stomach's fucking gone! What the fuck is this? So you walk into the town square, and naturally the Heartless are there to greet you. But they don't seem violent this time. And it is here where we get introduced to the Pumpkin King himself, Jack Skellington. It turns out that Jack has a plan to use the Heartless to make the scariest Halloween yet, but unfortunately the Heartless are unable to dance. Oh, I can just tell this is gonna go so far south.
Okay, Doctor, let's continue. The ingredients for a heart. Pulse. Emotion.
Terror.
Fear. Hope and despair. Mix them all together, and we have a heart.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's more to a heart than that. After their little heart experiment fails, Dr. Finkelstein and Jack decided they need to add another ingredient to the heart. Memory. Which, unfortunately, is being held by Sally, who's hiding out somewhere. So the group decides to go looking for her. Unfortunately, it seems that the experiment has caused the Heartless to run amok, so they have to fight them off. And this is where we see Jack's skills as a party member. He's primarily a black mage, using spells like fire, blizzard, and thunder. Don't entirely get it, but it works. The group finally finds Sally in the graveyard, and she reluctantly gives them the ingredient that they need. Unfortunately, 3 certain little troublemakers were listening in.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I sure did. A heart! What should we do?
Gosh, you really are stupid. Isn't it obvious?
Tell Oogie Boogie.
So they get back to the lab and try the experiment again, but before they can, Lock, Shock, and Barrel come in and steal the heart. Naturally, it's up to Sora, Donald, Goofy, and Jack to go out and get it back.
I knew Oogie Boogie was behind this.
Lock, Shock, and Barrel stole something important. Of course Oogie is behind this! By the way, I don't remember this house in the movie being quite this goddamn big. So you climb up this funhouse, I guess, and you find Lock, Shock, and Barrel and beat the crap out of them to give back the heart. They're still children. Isn't beating the crap out of them like this a little excessive? However, after you beat them, they tell you that they've already given the heart to Oogie, who's in the house's basement. Seriously? We just climbed up this fucking thing and now we have to go all the way to the bottom? When you find Oogie, it turns out that his intention was to use the heart to control the Heartless. Why Maleficent didn't give him this power, I have no idea. Unfortunately, his Heartless forces aren't exactly huge. And so a boss battle ensues, and a pretty cool one involving Oogie's casino setup. It's actually really neat to see all the different gadgets and stuff that Oogie uses here. The only problem is, it's still relatively simple. All you have to do is dodge stuff until you get a chance to hit Oogie. After you defeat him, everything seems right with the world, until...
Huh?
Okay, what is up with Disney villains and becoming giant fucking monsters? I mean, this is starting to get ridiculous! And what makes it even worse is now you have to climb up this fucking thing again, except this time you gotta find little darkness balls and destroy them in order to defeat Oogie. Oh, God, why? After you defeat Oogie, the mansion disappears, effectively turning Lock, Shock, and Barrel into street urchins. The biggest freaking keyhole ever appears. You lock it, and you regroup in Dr. Finkelstein's lab. Jack is feeling a little remorse on the fact that his plan failed.
Sally, why didn't I listen to you?
Yeah, you kind of have a problem with that, Jack. But Sally reassures him that they can still make Halloween great, and we get a really sweet happy ending. So that was Halloween Town, and... well, it looked pretty cool. The set pieces in this world are really cool to look at. But quite frankly, what would you expect considering the fact that this was based off a Tim Burton movie? And I also like the costumes that Sora, Donald, and Goofy have, even though it doesn't entirely make sense why they have them. I mean, in Atlantica, it makes sense why they were transformed into magical sea creatures, because otherwise they would have drowned. But here, I don't really see the purpose in doing the Halloween costumes other than they look cool. Also, one problem with the level is that the lighting tends to be pretty dark, so sometimes it can be kind of hard to make out what you're seeing. Also, I don't know if you noticed based on how long it took me to cover it, but the story of this world is kind of bare bones. Nothing really that complex or anything happens during this world. Granted, they have a really interesting idea with trying to make the Heartless non-violent, but it doesn't really go anywhere. Overall, this level is really interesting to explore, but not very stimulating. Well, that's it for this episode. Tune in next time as we go to the second star to the right and straight on till morning.